What happens when you take the janky bones of games about wrestling, pop stardom, survival, and prison, and then wrap it all around the life and times of Jesus H. Christ? You get one of the strangest games I have had the pleasure of playing this year so far. I'm RemisVancosid, and I want to share with you the You Testament. Thanks to being off my head on cold and flu medication, I've been on a bit of an MDickie kick recently. If you aren't sure who or what that is, really quick, MDickie is a creator of games that are a league of their own. They are unique and have a cult-like level of appreciation. They are janky, they are hilarious, both intentionally and unintentionally. And it's hard to play one without breaking into a smile. While scrolling through the list of his past games, I did a double take when I saw a picture of a very Jesus-like character next to a very Jesus-like title. I couldn't help but wonder how the creator behind Wrestling Empire would tonally handle something so light and unserious as the Bible. So I downloaded it, spent 2 hours trying to work out how to get it to stop screaming at me when I started it up, and then lost an entire Saturday playing it. MDickie introduces the game on his website best. I thought I'd unleash my unique brand of creativity on a concept that you'll never see anywhere else. It's an experience that billions of people have prayed for, but which no ordinary artist has the wherewithal to deliver. A territory that many would have liked to explore, but which can only be navigated by one who has freedom and lacks fear. I've always been fascinated with the idea of games as a metaphor for the relationship between body and soul, and this is the most overt exploration of that yet. As your 3D character struggles to make sense of his existence, you might just come to make sense of your own. Starting from the character creation, much like MDickie's other games, it is hard to not just go all out and make a silly character. Maybe you want to respect the scene you are jumping into, but how can anyone be serious when you can make an 11-foot Play-Doh looking Goku in a few clicks? After your character springs to life, you start at the River of Jordan. There are people walking back and forth, some hitting each other. There's a child or a very short man drowning in the water. It's all very chaotic. Turns out the man in the lake is John the Baptist, and he gives you the heads up about a certain someone to keep an eye out for. Leaving behind the wrestling crowd, you'll find Jesus hanging out above the bridge. He challenges you to go check out the desert if you want to find real answers. And luckily there's a sign nearby that says desert. Travel that way and you now have a good taste of what 90% of the game is. You load into an area. If Jesus or another story NPC is there, they talk to you. Rarely they ask you to do something. And then you need to walk across the large amount of loading screen fenced areas to the next story point. If this was all the game was, I would have probably stopped. But after a few story points, Jesus reveals to you the power of channeling your prana through meditation and teaches you how to use the power of nourishment. This is where things get exciting because looking at the chakra slots reveals an absolutely absurd amount of powers. There are 18. This alone locked me in. I was ready to see how crazy things got. Unfortunately, I had forsaken Goku's agility at the cost of maximum power when creating him, and as a result, ran slowly from story point to story point. And then accidentally let my health get just a touch too low and died. I had to start from scratch. Create a new character, maxed out speed to reach story points faster. I made him 11 foot because I thought that would make him faster and easier to see over the mass wrestling crowds, and I quickly set off. Even with my new speed, it was taking far too long to get back up and going, thanks to the clunky zone navigation. So once Jesus taught me how to meditate, I said f*** it and cheated. I unlocked all the miracles. I edited my character to have 100% agility and power. I discovered the way to skip to specific story points. I transformed from an apostle in training to a 1 foot tall jacked time hopping Jedi. I I didn't think there would be a way to turn evil in this game, but there absolutely is. Turns out if you get your karma to a bad enough state and you continually meditate through the blinking red, at some point Satan decides to lend you some power, and you can now make explosions and disintegrate parts of other characters bit by bit. The game ends with you on the same bridge you met Jesus on at the start, with a person who wishes to learn about Jesus from you. The camera slowly lifts into the sky while your character locks eyes with you like a religious Terminator. Credits roll, and then you can load back into the game and kill everything. There is a trial system where you get judged for your crimes similar to how Jesus did. It's between you and a random person, and your fate is left up to the crowd to decide. If they set you free, everything is forgiven, while the other person cops the punishment. However, if you get declared guilty, you can be imprisoned, have your arms cut off, though you can grow them back using miracle, or be crucified. Though out of the 10 trials that I went through, I never seemed to be able to get crucified. This was a weird game, but handled in a really fascinating way. The blending of various ideas of spirituality with the Jesus story, and a sprinkling of random quotes tied together under a game that handles like a wrestling school for angry drunk wizards, is definitely something to be experienced firsthand. I'm not sure there will be another game like this ever again. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.